ideas in those bookshelves. So this is probably one more. And finally, culture. So they studied all this, and they found the culture is probably the most important thing for innovation. Labor again. Example is in the 19th century, Britain lost its technological leadership to German and American industries because they had better engineers. So I mean, labor, better skilled, highly skilled people. Capital again is banks, stock markets, and stuff. Or how much money does your company have? Can it generate cash? Government can again work at 3 levels: intellectual property protection, or encouraging collaboration between different departments, or procurement, for example. Internet, computers, and most of modern technology is a result of US government funding military research. So we have these amazing technology, mobile phone technology. All this is a result of the government of United States funding research, Cold War era. So thanks to the Russians, we have better computers now, right, indirectly. Culture. Well, 2 cultures. I mean, when you say culture, there are two aspects to it. One is national culture, basically religious beliefs, our geographic location, and various patterns across nations, and a little bit of variance in societies. I believe we have a speaker who's going to talk about Hofstede dimensions of how culture impacts societies. And of course, internal firm culture. Now, if you see around the world, these people are most innovative. These are slightly slow. These are really low. Why? The geographic factor, this is what I mean, is the people in the middle had everything available. Food, land, and everything was easy. So you just put your hand in there, you got a fish, you put your hand up there, you got a fruit, and you're happy. You don't have to really work hard. But these people on the top, of course, the south is pretty bleak, there's nothing there. But the north it was very difficult, life was difficult, so they had to innovate. And somehow it helped their economy now. So a successful company has 3 key traits. A high tolerance for risk. Now, critical thinking is also a type of risk-taking ability. I put my idea here among you in the middle. If the idea is rubbish, it's okay. I'm taking that risk. Okay? If the idea is good, it's still okay. I'm still taking a risk. Onwards to, for example, within a company, how does it work? Suppose there are 5 guys, they produce 5 different ideas, okay? And all of them put the idea in the front. And there's a very heated debate about what is good and bad. Sometimes some people feel hurt that their ideas was not accepted. And they will not give ideas next time onwards. This is a very common problem around the world, right? And the more, especially most designers have been taught properly in a good institution to avoid that kind of emotional attachment to products. But a lot of them don't understand. So ability to take risk at that level is also important. A willingness to cannibalize is basically, if a bad idea, kill it. If you start a project and 3 months later you realize it's a bad project, kill it quickly. Save money. Get your people off there and put them in a different project. But if you say, no, because if I don't kill it, he will feel bad, then you're in trouble. You lose money. You lose time. Right? That's the ability. And a culture that encourages ideas, because creative economy is an ideas economy. It's not about roads, it's not about buildings, it's not about how big or beautiful you look, but it's all about how intelligent or how smart you are. So that's how the very important thing for us to remember. Now, I'm going to talk about design thinking. This is a very funny thing. I mean, we have an article attached in your put in your kit. Design thinking is kind of becoming a new mantra around. The Harvard Business School has written about it. Fast Company has written Business Week, and a lot of people, a lot of business schools are talking about design thinking. I know of some very interesting design schools which are not design schools because they are purely There are a flux of business, engineering, and design. There are 3 or 4 universities in the world. They're all talking about design thinking. And it's the buzzword now. I mean, the design thinker can make a lot of money going around talking in the world, right? How it creates value. To get there, first we need to understand what is happening in the design world. Yesterday, that's till recently, maybe till 2000, right? Because till 2000 we didn't have computers, we didn't have internet cheap. So we have them now. It changed our lives. A designer used to work alone. He would typically have one client. He goes and sits with the client, or an artist, or any creative person primarily. And the client will brief him and give him some money. And he disappears into the forest for 3 months. And he does some magical thing in the forest and comes back with a beautiful idea. And the client says, I don't like it. So he goes back into the forest again. So that was how it was. But now, if you see the middle diagram, those 5 guys standing there in green are single discipline teamwork. We have larger design companies. We have 10, 20, 30, 100. I will show you an example of a company which has 800 designers, right? And they're all similar thinking people. But now what's happening is, if you see the last one on the extreme right, you have all different colored people. One of them is a designer. Others are anthropologists, scientists, and people of multiple skills. And they're all designers. We're going to see a video in a while about different kinds of... You have linguists also working as designers. They have never gone to a design school, but they're designers. So it's a different world today. So designers change. And in the past, we were single discipline at the bottom, right? Single discipline, simple problems. Life was simple. Life is very complicated now. And now we look at very complex problems with... it's a multidisciplinary thing. So the world has changed a bit as well. So the question is, what skills do we need to do this kind of work? We need different skills. What you get in a university is not enough, right? Design is also changing now. It was a linear process. The first department is marketing. The second department is manufacturing. The third is something else, and so. And finally, you have the design. In the end, they will say, "Hey, we made this thing. Can you make it beautiful?" It was a very siloed. You need to understand this concept very well. I am from accounts. I will not talk to marketing. Marketing will not talk to the designer or somebody. This is living in my departments, and unless my boss tells me, I will not talk to him laterally. You know. This is a siloed kind of a setup. So it used to be like, they used to call it, throw it over the wall. I'm sitting in my wall, I do my work and throw it across. And the other fellow gets it, and he does whatever, he throws it across. So you don't collaborate. That was the old world, which died in the 1990s. And it's a new world now. Different kind of techniques are coming. Thanks again to all this technology. So now the design world is very different. Designers and all these people start from the beginning right up to the end. They form a team. And these teams keep changing. Sony of Japan used to call it the amoeba process. It doesn't have a shape. It's fluid, flexible. Today you have 10 people, tomorrow you have 8, next day only 1, and then 50. So it keeps changing from beginning to end. Because you bring capabilities, you don't bring personalities. Because he's the son of such and such, you have to work here. No, that's not going to work. You bring because this guy has the capability. So you kick personalities out and bring capability. That's the way things are happening in the West. Right? What skills do we need to do this? Another major phenomena which is happening now is crowdsourcing. Basically open source design. And I have a beautiful, wonderful book. If you're really curious, you can go read this book. It talks about how our world is changing. And design is being hit badly by this. I mean, clients like Nestle, Procter & Gamble, Nokia, Amazon, Apple, Muji, I mean, that beautiful. They also source products from around the world for literally free. I mean, I have a few links. In fact, I have opened up a few websites Hopefully they're here. Oh, good.